What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome on back to Dragon Age Inquisition. As always, if you're new here or haven't yet, please do subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and of course, if you want to catch up on the rest of the Let's Play so far, go ahead and check the description below. I'll have a whole series down there in order for everybody. So today's episode, we're going to start with some War Table Ops. They should have found the Mayor of Crestwood by now. We'll go deal with him, sit in judgment. I might make some quick rounds in Skyhold, but mainly I want to get going on the western approach, because the sooner we get to the western approach, the faster we can get our specialization, which means a respec, and then we get closer to where my build should be. Strike a bargain with merchant princes. A bundle of documents at least 50 pages thick explains the trade agreement the Inquisition has entered into with the merchant princes of Antiva. Josephine has attached a note. 50 pages thick, huh? Inquisitor. I am more than satisfied with the agreement we reached with the merchant princes. Here is a duplicate if you wish to review it. I would put aside 3 days and 24 candles. Ambassador Montelier, I will not be reading 2 days of small print. No, thank you. Note to Skyhold's gate guards. I hear the mayor of Crestwood's been found. When he comes in, stick him in the holding cells. Let him stew there until the Inquisitor brings him out for judgment. Galio Blythe. Yeah, so we can bring him out to judge. Inquisitor, while most of Haven has been destroyed, the charges recovered some lost gear, still intact. They also recovered a number of enemy corpses, in hopes that these might help your experts understand more about the enemy we face. Lieutenant Cremisius Aclase. We'll remember to talk to Crem before we leave again so we can see if there's anything else that we can do. We definitely need to confront these blood mages in the Wending Wood. So a dangerous cell of rebel mages has been tracked to a remote location in the Wending Wood. They are known enemies of the Inquisition and its allies. These men and women pose a significant danger to those traveling along the Pilgrim's Path between Denerim and Amaranthine. They are directly responsible for the death of 7 mages and a noble woman's daughter. The Inquisition's Templars are prepared to defend against this threat. Mage, Templar, Merchant. Any who travel this area are at risk. We must put a stop to it. I would agree wholeheartedly, Colin. Investigate Redcliffe Castle. It might be useful to scout Redcliffe Castle for information on how Corypheus took control of the rebel mages. I'd be happy to have the board's charges poke around and see if we can find out what happened to them. Lieutenant Cremisius Aclase. There is more than one way into Redcliffe Castle. With the right information, the charges can get inside, with no one the wiser. The windmill shortcut, right, that we took in Origins? The hidden path? That's what I would recommend they take. There are Ferelden nobles who would support any effort to retake Redcliffe Castle from the mages. We'll do this ourselves.
Inquisitor.
So we'll get the board's charges in there, doing what they do best. We have stopped the war between Navarre and Tevinter Operation Ratha. Right, let's judge the Mayor of Crestwood. And again, this is the guy that flooded the tunnels with the refugees from the 5th Blight inside. He says, and it's probably true, that they did have blight sickness, considering the notes we found around, so it's hard to tell if he did the right thing here. Darkspawn were invading his village. They were attacking a bunch of blight-sick people. He flooded it and took out both. Blight sickness is fatal. There is no cure for that outside of becoming a Grey Warden, so it's not like they could have been saved and he chose not to. It's kind of just, you gotta think, did that trade-off save the rest of the village? Is that the only reason Crestwood is still here today? Or did he do a bad thing? I guess we'll see what he thinks about it. I suppose the way he defends himself is going to be the deciding factor.
Mayor Gregory Dedrick of Crestwood is present for betraying his own constituents. He confesses that, 10 years ago, he flooded Old Crestwood to kill refugees and villagers touched by the Blight. The mayor claims it was to spare the rest of Crestwood, but we only have his word.
If the mayor has anything to say in his defense, let him speak.
There's no cure for the Blight. But I couldn't convince anyone to leave a sick child or husband behind.
So you herded the infected into one place and flooded Old Crestwood. Were no innocents caught in the waters?
I'm sure they were.
Nearly everyone in the village had the Blight. I swear it.
Nearly everyone.
Have mercy. I couldn't tell the survivors I'd drowned their own families to save them. I couldn't.
So, We either execute him for his crimes, which doesn't seem... taking him out back and chopping his head off, I don't think is the right play here. Exile is as good as death, and he won't really have time to ponder all this. This, to me, is a Ferelden issue, and I feel like Ferelden should be the one to judge him here. Crestwood is the village that he betrayed. They should probably be the one to pass that sentence. I don't think his crimes deserve execution. At the end of the day, he's right. There is no cure for the blight. You are dead, and you disease and corrupt the land around you, and it spreads like wildfire. And not only do you die, you also can become a ghoul, and then kill other innocent people and become part of the Darkspawn horde. And Darkspawn were also attacking. He didn't just flood the villagers, he flooded Darkspawn too. That we found that in notes and what everybody was saying while we were in the Crestwood, so... In the face of a Darkspawn invasion, he sacrificed some blighted people and some other people to save the rest. It's an impossible decision. I think it would be better if Ferelden took care of this.
You committed murder on Ferelden's soil. Let them deal with your punishment. Send him to Denerim. He can live the rest of his life behind their bars.
In prison? Maker. I should have drowned with them.
Would you have preferred execution? You obviously would like to live because you ran. Him running makes the whole thing look a lot worse too, because instead of sitting there and accepting what he did and speaking his case, he decided to cut and run instead, which obviously is a gigantic sign of a guilty conscience.
And what else did Lady Forsythia say? That she'd rather drown herself than help the Inquisition.
Nice.
Anything else? She said she'd have us flogged alive if we allied with her brother. That does sound like her. Cheer up, Josie. We at least have her attention. You always do find the brighter side of things.
She sounds a lot more optimistic than I would be, given the circumstance. I guess that's
We
the
are
way
in
all
the midst of
legions work.
cementing an alliance with Lady Forsythia of Nevada, your worship. It's become a somewhat delicate task.
Can I do anything to help negotiations?
Thank you, but I believe I have matters in hand. I dissuaded her from sending soldiers when she learned we'd struck an accord with a brother she's feuding with. Lady Forsythia simply employs a colorful manner of speech.
Sending soldiers would be a distinctly bad idea.
Dealing with so many demanding, strong-willed people can't be easy.
It's no less intense than my days at court, Inquisitor, I assure you. But I confess I do miss my staff from the embassy in Antiva. It was always useful to discuss the day's visitors with them.
I have time, if you'd like to review things with me.
I wouldn't wish to impose.
If it were imposing, I wouldn't have offered.
Well,
Very
I
true.
admit there are a few potential alliances it would be good to discuss.
Oh god. What did we sign up for?
Right on the parlor floor, in front of everyone at the soiree.
I don't think we're discussing alliances
Does such
anymore.
a thing in front of their guests.
The Duke of Kellington, apparently.
And then there's Cole's lurking. It frightens our guests half to death. Lord Gennard still won't respond to our letters. And Sarah,
Looks easy, I
can she not
guess.
find a single overshirt without mustard stains on it? Then there's Dorian. The man refuses to take anything seriously unless it suits his whim. Not to mention... Oh goodness. Have we been here an hour already?
I wouldn't worry about it too much.
It went by so quickly, I didn't even notice.
You're far too polite. I didn't intend to go on for so long. You must think me quite the gossip.
You've been working continually since I met you, Josephine.
And that can't stop. I must be going.
We would have had an
But
opportunity
I
there
leave
to
feeling less troubled.
flirt with her, but at the end of the day, everybody needs downtime, right? You work better when you're relaxed and happy. She's constantly sitting on a desk, pushing papers, facing the end of the world 24/7, that obviously is going to affect her mentality. Strong and sharp is what you need in those situations, right? We'll probably go talk to her a little bit, just to see if we have missed any other dialogue. She does have a personal quest, but I'm not sure if we can unlock that before we go to Orlais. I'm not sure. I'll go speak to her and see.
Inquisitor, is it true? Is the mark on your hand magic cast by Corypheus?
Corypheus
what he
claimed
said.
the spell gone wrong.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. A sign the Maker was returning to his creation. How credulous of me.
It could be the Maker's will. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's not, right? Things happen for a reason, surely.
Perhaps the Maker set these events in motion so long ago, we can no longer see his hand in them.
It would be fitting if that were true. Does it?
Curses can also turn into
The
blessings,
anger,
right?
that is.
It looks strange, but it hasn't done me harm.
If it did come from Corypheus, that's a small mercy.
He gave us the ability to shut
A
down his
situation
grand
requires
plan.
your attention, Inquisitor.
Oh.
Noble Chantry loyalists in the city of Jadar are spreading accusations that you're responsible for the Divine's death. They're
Of course they
unusually
are.
organized. I recommend we send people to Jadar to deal with the matter.
Show of force. Propaganda.
Will anyone even believe me if I claim I didn't kill the Divine?
Perhaps if they learn about your heroics, we should emphasize how you stopped the breach devouring the sky. Even in Jadar, it may win you a few admirers.
What does the nobility gain by saying I murdered Justinia?
A scapegoat to begin with, but I wonder if the Grand Clerics are at work.
I'm sure they are.
Those immediately eligible to be divine died at the conclave. The ones remaining were not as favored. They may look upon you as a rival for influence.
I'm not gonna send an army to Jada to deal with that, but some diplomats to have a quiet conversation might be
Let's send some ambassadors to convince
right up
Jada
the
I'm
alley.
not a monster in disguise.
Excellent. I believe there's much to be gained by winning them over.
Yeah, I
It's
think
good to see
that's
you.
probably a better idea. We can ask her quite a lot of things, actually.
Where were you raised, Josephine?
I was born in Antiva City, but when I turned 15, Mother declared I'd attend finishing school in Val Royeaux. But I bawled into her skirts the day I had to leave.
You must have missed her terribly.
I did. And she was most unsympathetic to my wailing.
Naturally.
But my mother only wanted the best for me. Living in Orlais was an education in itself.
Not necessarily for the better, depending on how you see Olay.
What did you learn at this finishing school in Val Royeaux?
Among other things, mathematics, rhetoric, poetry, history,
The grand
logic,
game and how to
a
be a
great
political
deal
snake.
of etiquette. I still remember Madame Beventir's switch on my knuckles when I forgot the basic tenets of Nevaran dining customs. For a dowager approaching her 80th year, she had quite the arm.
How did the younger you like Val Royeaux when you arrived?
Have you ever stepped into a new city and felt the buildings couldn't possibly be real? That was Val Royeaux to me. So beautifully foreign, I gaped at its spires for months.
Not exactly my type of place.
Does Antiva City have nothing that compares to Val Royeaux?
Antiva City is a jewel among the capitals. But I did not appreciate that
A
before.
little bit of patriotism came out
There
right
are
there.
multitudes of places I'd like to see. Saharan, the Anderfells, whatever lies past the Amaranthine Ocean.
Saharan might not be a great idea, given the Canary tensions.
Tell me about the Montiliers.
Well, my parents are alive and in good health. They live in our estate in Antiva City. Of my 4 siblings, most attend to the running of the family vineyards. That reminds me, I must ask someone to make sure Yvette attends the spring reception at the palace. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements.
Why are you overseeing your siblings' social lives?
It's Antivan custom. After a certain age, the heir apparent runs the family's estate to prove they're worthy of succession.
And you're the heir
If you're
apparent.
unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's parents, may decree a new heir.
I would imagine working for the Inquisition like you are certainly proves your worth.
What do these Antivan heads of the household do if they don't run it?
They work and provide guidance. I've taken advice from my parents. Well, mostly mother. Father's more of an artist. It's rather gauche, but we never can dissuade him from running his own salons. Between him and my siblings, mother's looking forward to my taking over the estate.
Between that and the Inquisition, when do you ever
I
rest?
remember how I said she needed time off.
Helps a a great deal. But managing the estate is my duty. As much work as it is, I will not shirk it.
Is running your family's estate that important to you?
I'm responsible for their welfare. A Montilier never shuns their familial duty.
Some pride in the family name there too.
Those duties can sometimes be.
Commendable.
Maybe your siblings could help lighten your burden.
You don't know them. But Dorian in charge, or Antoine, or Yvette? No, truly. It must be me.
All the sibling energy.
You said the Montiliers used to run an entire trading fleet. What happened?
There was a scandal in Val Royal more than an age ago. The Montiliers were forbidden from trading with Orlais. Our personal fortunes never quite rebounded.
Does anyone in Orlais even remember what that scandal was?
I doubt it, but the injunction persists.
What exactly happened?
Perhaps something
An
we can
affair
do
with a
about
minor
that.
lord. Perhaps. Most other details are lost.
Are you saying your family's livelihood was ruined because of a love affair no one even remembers?
Essentially, Orlesian politics are full of these unhappy little missteps, Inquisitor.
Maybe there's something we can do about that in the future. Wouldn't hurt to have our ambassador get all of our assets back, right? Probably do a long way to help the Inquisition. So let's go continue to make a couple rounds. We can probably talk to Varric, and then I'll cut left, because we haven't done much talking to Dorian or Vivienne since we got to Skyhold, so... We'll start with the man himself, and then we'll move on.
Is this a bad time? I can come back.
No, it's all right. Bills are really not that engrossing. I've been meaning to come talk to you anyhow. I never officially joined the Inquisition. I don't know how to do this, disciplehood thing.
Not like you
I'm
have
a
to take an
businessman.
oath.
Never really followed a chosen one before.
I don't need a disciple. I need a friend.
If you knew how intimidating you are, you wouldn't make it sound so simple. You just don't know what you
I
are.
just need people around me that can give me honest opinions.
The Herald of Andraste is a symbol bigger than any of us.
What am I to you, then?
None of this shit makes any sense to me. Is this the end of the world?
You're not the only one.
They sent you through the breach? I have no idea. You heard the crowd singing after Haven was attacked?
Please tell me you aren't going to burst into song now.
Don't worry, I'm not that cruel. I should probably get back to work. Unless, you up for a game of Wicked Grace?
It sounds good to me, although I'm sure you'll fleece the hell out of me. Solas, have you done any more
What's this place?
painting recently?
So much room for whatever was here.
What can I do for you?
You can ask him about himself.
I'm interested in what you told me of yourself and your studies. If you have time, I'd like to hear more.
You continue to surprise me. All right, let us talk. Preferably somewhere more interesting than this.
This doesn't seem right.
Why here?
Haven is familiar. It will always be important to you.
Looks
We
a lot
talked
better
about
than
that
the state
already.
we left it.
I sat beside you while you slept, studying the anchor.
I'm glad someone was watching over me.
You were a mystery. You still are. I ran every test I could imagine. Searched the Fade, yet found nothing. Cassandra suspected duplicity. She threatened to have me executed as an apostate if I didn't produce results.
Cassandra's like that with everyone.
You
Yes.
almost stabbed Varric through the book.
You were never going to wake up? How could you? A mortal sent physically through the Fade. I was frustrated, frightened. The spirits I might have consulted had been driven away by the breach. Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
But you stayed.
I did. I told myself, one more attempt to seal the rifts. I tried and failed. No ordinary magic would affect them. I watched the rifts expand and grow, resign myself
The
to
rift
flee,
also isn't
and
like that
then-
anymore. This is not reality.
It seems you hold the key to our salvation.
I think
You
we're
had sealed
dreaming.
it with a gesture. And right then, I felt the whole world change.
For all our sakes, I'm pleased that you stuck around.
As am I. You have fractured rules of man and nature, and you will shatter more before you are done. To visit me here, and you not even a mage.
What do you mean?
Where do you think we were?
This isn't real.
That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up.
Certainly. Yeah, there was a lot of little hints there that that wasn't real. Haven was significantly less destroyed than it should have been. So we just visited him in the Fade, which is not supposed to be possible. Well, I guess it is possible, but not like that, not to have so much control. To be dreaming and go speak to somebody and travel through the Fade to different memories. Although I'm sure Solas had a part to play in some of that, right? Certainly he was working some of his magic there, and that'll be why he said, let's talk somewhere more interesting, because we were in the Fade, so we had options. That's a cool little thing. When we go talk to Vivienne, I can actually show you where the mosaics we've been collecting are going at.
I've never done anything like that before. Do you regularly talk to people in dreams?
No. Consider that one more rule you have effortlessly broken in your rise to power. I had no idea that the anchor would allow you to dream with such focus. It is truly remarkable. But I am reasonably certain we are awake now. And if you wish to discuss anything, I would enjoy talking.
Well, that opened him up a little bit.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found the ruin of Barandur, a lost Tevinter city buried deep beneath a dead and barren wasteland. Volcanic ash had sealed it tight. In one dark moment, every living creature in the city seared and smothered. They were statues in the ashes, like a mold made to recall the lost.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I met a friendly spirit who observed the dreams of village girls as love first blossomed in their adolescence. With subtlety, she steered them all to village boys with gentle hearts, who would return their love with gentle kindness. The matchmaker, so I called her. That small village never knew its luck.
That would be a very nice spirit to have in a village, making sure everybody gets the right partners. Kind of like Cupid, huh?
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a savage human horde go marching toward the battlefront. They sang the soldiers' hymn to keep formation. Primal music shook the ground. These savage, unwashed warriors carried harmonies no chantry choirs mastered. Though their cause was all but hopeless, they sang songs that made the spirits weep.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
I think we already spoke to him about Corypheus. I don't think he'd have anything extra for us, not yet at least. So going on up, here's Dorian.
You know, we're actually related, Inquisitor.
Related?
Oh, not first cousins or anything like that. Can you imagine? You're a Trevelyan, however, and somewhere in dank nethers of my family tree, there was also a Trevelyan.
What part
Perhaps
of
he was
Vinter?
even the one who ventured to Ostwick to establish the branch. We are talking long ago, of course.
You know that off the top of your head?
Not the top. Maybe the lower middle or thereabouts.
Been doing some
Bloodlines
research, have you?
was serious business in Tevinter. You're taught lessons and tested by strict nannies. I heard your family mentioned, and I had to go through all the old mnemonics, but yes, there it is. I knew there was a reason we looked so much alike.
Learn something new every day.
Nice, isn't it? Like being at a quality library, provided you're not the one stocking the shelves.
Can't imagine you doing the busy work like that.
It occurs to me that I barely know anything about you.
Beyond my being a mage from Tevinter, you mean?
Beyond that, yes.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
Really likes the way that he sounds, doesn't he?
You certainly think highly of yourself.
It's true. I could be more modest, but I'd be lying.
Of course, that's respectable in a way.
What was I talking about? Ah, yes, me. I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding and the repository of its hopes and dreams. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies,
That's just about right.
illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
Yeah, Dorian actually makes an appearance in Dragon Age Veilguard too.
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I
Things really
declined,
do come true, huh?
and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see?
I'm getting the impression you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier.
What did he say? Nobody wants to admit they shit the bed.
We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
It just seems so much of what you say about the Imperium is entirely negative.
It might sound that way. For all our faults, my people have many virtues. We are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where Thedas truly began, remember? We treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built during the modern ages. And despite appearances, we care deeply about everything. We have no reserve, not in war and not in love. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
For as much as I hate Tevinter, there's something admirable about wanting to fix such a cesspool, right? And not just accepting.
Generations of careful breeding.
Growing up in Tevinter and not seeing things the way that they do is impressive.
They refine traits, weed out the undesirable, and promote the rest. My mother was chosen for my father because magic runs strongly in her blood. Never mind that they loathed each other. They wanted a son who could become Archon to make House Parvis the envy of the Imperium. They got me. A cautionary tale that you should be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I mean, very surprised too that he also wouldn't like power, even if he doesn't like Tevinter. His goals of him wanting to change it seem like they would be much easier to do as an Archon, right?
Why remain with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Tevinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home.
That laugh.
Not that it matters. I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some magisters would disagree. But that's why we kill them.
I can get
I think
behind
I've
that.
had enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
I get that impression.
I should go.
As you wish.
Are there any goodies around here anywhere? This is our war table.
Here
Or
is the
research
request
table,
Herald
rather.
made.
Are there any special instructions?
Vivienne should be out here. And this is where our mosaics go too, as you can see. So we have, this one is the first one, the Fall, right? That'll be the one from the Hinterlands. And all the other ones we've been collecting will start being lined up here too. That one will be the Now We Are Free, the one with the slaves, I imagine, since that's the only one we've been working on. But there will be more of them hearing about this place.
Have I told you how much I like the throne you placed in the Great Hall? The chantry symbolism adds just the right touch.
Thank you, Vivienne. I'm glad you approve.
When things have settled down a bit, I will take you to Val Royeaux and introduce you to my seamstress.
We don't need all
And
Legion silks.
appearances are important. We can't have you mistaken for a commoner.
I guess that's true.
I suppose it's important to show that we're an authority to be respected.
Not just respected, my dear. Awed, feared, aspired to.
Exposing a lot
Command
about
an
herself
army
in
of
these
faithful,
conversations, isn't she?
outfitted by the coin of the nobility. You must be a man who the common folk aspire to be and to whom the nobility bow.
That's quite a lot for one person to pull off, don't you think?
It is a challenge all great leaders must face, Inquisitor.
He's right
As
to
the
a degree.
stories of the Inquisition spread, more and more people will wonder if you are the man they say you are.
For as much as I'd like
They
to
will
sleep in
question what they've
furs,
heard, but they will believe
a lot of the
what they
nobility
see.
would take things
They
away
must
thanks
see
to that.
someone
And then we
greater
can't
than
help the
legend.
common folk either way.
If that's your standard for me, what does the Divine have to live up to?
Andraste and the Maker cast very large shadows. The Divine absolutely must set the example for all Thedas. She must seem to be the embodiment of the Maker to the faithful. She needs the authority of the Maker and the charisma of Andraste. It will be no small task to fill that vacant throne.
A little hint of ambition there, isn't there?
Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
She's been a lot more friendly to us now. I'm gonna ask her about the friends. I don't think there's a reason to do that. We'll just hop down here. Don't mind the fall. We have very resilient ankles. Righty. Let us... We've been going a while. Let's talk to Cassandra, and if she has nothing, we'll go talk to Blackwall.
And they prevent wounds from getting infected.
He has something.
I can keep staring at this, but I won't get any closer.
What's going on?
Something I can help you with?
Yes. Possibly. You recall the demon at Therenfall? The one impersonating Lord Seeker Lucius? We never found the real Lord Seeker. Or his body. Indeed, I've seen no hint of any Seekers amongst the Red Templars, or anywhere. I have a growing suspicion Corypheus has imprisoned them.
Why imprisoned? He could just as easily have killed them.
Not easily. But yes, they may be dead. Yet a demon of envy does not kill whomever it replaces. It hides them away and learns about them.
I think he's locked up in a cage
trail
somewhere.
we can follow. Yet so far I have only discovered hints.
But they could have ended up just like the Red Templars.
Seekers do not use lyrium. I assume Corypheus gained control of the Templars by corrupting the lyrium they were already taking. To do the same to a Seeker, you'd have to force the lyrium upon him. That may be what happened, but it couldn't have begun that way. We're missing a piece of the puzzle, Inquisitor. I need to find it.
I'm willing to help you with it.
Finding them obviously means a lot to you.
I left the Order, but I can never abandon them. I cannot even claim that rescuing them would be beneficial. They wouldn't look kindly on the Inquisition. But even so, if there's a chance... If we can spare
have to
resources
beg.
to follow up on these leads, Inquisitor, I would appreciate it.
Yeah, she doesn't need to beg for my help, though. That gives us the war table mission, locate the missing Seekers. Yeah, this is why I'm making the rounds right now, because we should have a decent chunk of opportunity from a lot of our companions.
This is just... it's something to keep their hands busy.
Carving a griffin.
I'm grateful you tracked me down when you did. As exciting as wandering the woodlands was, this is better. It's good to be part of something so important. Something that could change things.
I'm pleased that you feel that way.
Makes me sound like a Chantry sister, doesn't it? Some giddy new initiate. But so be it. I suppose you've earned my loyalty and girlish enthusiasm. You are who you choose to follow. Someone told me that once. Took me years to understand what he meant.
It is pretty wise words, actually. You sign yourself up to a cause that's damaged and corrupt, you become damaged and corrupt.
There's wisdom in that.
It was a chevalier who said those words to me. A powerful man, but never without honor. A true knight. We met as competitors in the Grand Tourney. He left me with that advice before we parted. Put aside his own ambitions to help me win the melee. I don't think I even thanked him.
What is this Grand Tourney?
You've never heard of it? The Grand Tourney of the Free Marches. It's a spectacle. Song, dance, wine, every amusement you can imagine. But the greatest part is the contest of arms. Prove yourself in the Grand Tourney, and you can make your fortune.
I imagine that's a place to get hired on by nobility as a knight or guard captain or become in the service of somebody greater, right? Some high-end noble that's going to pay you a fortune to teach his men, etc.
How did he help you?
There were 100 men on the field, each one fighting for himself. The knight and I had forged an alliance. It was just the two of us, and we took all comers. The goal, down as many opponents as possible. He always let me deliver the final blow.
It was generous of him.
He said I stood to gain everything, while he'd lose nothing. When it was over, he offered to mentor me, to teach me to become a chevalier like him. And I, young and stupid, turned him down flat. I just won the melee at the Grand Tourney. I didn't need him. I should have gone with him. Perhaps things could have been different.
I think, in a way, you're probably right. But if you had done that, you wouldn't have ended up where you are now, right?
Different doesn't always mean better.
In this case, I think it would have been better. But I'm older, hopefully wiser. And I think I've chosen the right person to walk with.
Gotta live up to that.
At your service.
Varric's friend Hawk said there were suspicions of corruption in Grey Warden ranks. Do you know anything about that?
Corruption? What sort of corruption?
Corypheus. He's been known to influence the minds of wardens.
That could very well explain why so many have disappeared.
If this is true, then all wardens are in danger, even you. You'd better find your brothers.
I agree. If Hawk's given you an idea where to start, we should get moving immediately.
How much do you know about Corypheus?
Not much. I always thought the stories of magisters corrupting the Golden City were just that, stories. I didn't expect them to be true, and I certainly didn't expect to find one of them still alive.
Don't the Grey Wardens know everything about Darkspawn?
You don't have to
Not
know
entirely.
how Darkspawn came to be in order to kill it with soldiers, not historians.
When they get higher up, they're historians.
People focused on defeating evil rather than explaining how it came to be.
Oh, this I absolutely agree with. That is absolutely correct. The world would be better off focusing on defeating it rather than explaining how it got there. There's a whole lot of that in the real world, too.
Corypheus stopped being human a long time ago. Darkspawn don't have human lifespans, do they?
No, I suppose they don't. They're unnatural and sustained by evil. It's been thousands of years. You'd think the Wardens would have managed to kill the first Darkspawn by now.
Not so easy if they don't die.
Do you know if there are more Darkspawn like Corypheus?
I don't know. I'm not sure any Warden knows.
Let's discuss something else. Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. We must know a lot about them.
Ah, the Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
How do the Wardens deal with archdemons?
Short answer. Stick it with swords until it stops moving.
I'll trust that you know what you're talking about.
We'll manage, if it comes to that.
Have you been hearing the calling, too?
I know what Corypheus is. He has no sway over me.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish.
You know, he's right about the up end of it. And he would be a senior warden, right? If he's responsible for running around recruiting people, etc. So he should know that the warden who kills an archdemon dies. But that doesn't make what he said untrue. You do just stick it with pointy swords until it stops moving, but it's specifically Grey Wardens that kill it, because when you kill an archdemon, its soul travels to the closest blighted creature, which when the Grey Warden kills it, is the closest blighted creature. Because the Grey Warden is not a fully corrupted darkspawn, the Warden's soul still exists. Well, when the archdemon's soul goes into the Warden, they counteract each other and are both destroyed in the process, which is why every Grey Warden that takes the final blow dies with the archdemon, which is why all those famed Wardens that have ended blights have monument statues and you don't have conversations with them, because they all had to die to do it. That's why the Warden in Origins says, as the senior Warden, it's his responsibility to take the final blow, because he's the oldest, has the least amount of time left alive, and so he'll die for it, which is typically how it happens if you have a choice. The oldest one will take the hit and go to the grave, for the young recruits who still have more to give. So, what he said is true, but he's answering all of those questions quite strangely, right? He's being very blunt about it, and the thing about the calling too, he didn't really explain anything about mystical noises, or the way that it sounds, or anything that Stroud has said, or the Wardens have said. He kinda just said, yeah, I know what he is, it doesn't affect me. He could be stoic, sure, maybe he just doesn't want to talk about it, but he's answering questions strangely, which is interesting to say the least. Anyways, that is going to be a pretty good point to wrap on up, and then I will catch you guys next time for some war table things, and then we'll go in here and we'll talk to Ironball, Sarah, and Cole, and then we can get on going on with the things that we got to do. So thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like and a comment on your way out, and I will see you soon with more Dragon Age Inquisition. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.